Hey everyone, this is Daniel with Screen Repair Business Academy, and we're going to do a repair today because I want to start showing you guys how doable these repairs are. Because some repairs can seem quite intimidating, but I want to show you that they're actually doable. So today we're going to do a very new phone. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. The customer damaged the screen, they dropped it, it blacked out, it's not showing anything. So let's get right to it. I've got another camera here. We're going to be recording what I'm doing out here so you can see my hands. Let's get to work. First thing we're going to do on this phone, just like we do with every phone, is get the bottom screws out. Now, the tricky thing about the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 14 is that it's really easy to damage the screen as you're removing it. And so you have to be really careful if you ever accept a repair for an iPhone 13 and like it's a charging port replacement or a battery replacement, you have to be on pins and needles to make sure you don't break the screen because it's really easy to break. But you remove these bottom screws, really straightforward. You get your heat gun and warm up all the adhesive. These iPhone 13 Pro Max have quite a lot of adhesive, but it's reusable adhesive. I like to use it a second time, but I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, now we've got that relatively well warmed up. We're going to grab, this is the best tool out there, I think, for the job, and iFixit Slim Jim tool with a nice narrow metal tip. The best way to get into these phones is down at the bottom. You're going to stick the tool between the screen and the metal frame, like so. See, already in there. iPhones are very easy to get into. Heat it up a little bit more. The nice thing with this phone, again, is the fact you're not worried about damaging the phone because it's already black. It's already dead. You are just repairing this phone. See, cracked it, probably damaged the OLED, but hey, it's already damaged. What you're wanting to do is you want to get under a plastic layer that's under there that surrounds the screen. Once you're in there, you're pretty much good to go to work your way down the edge of the screen, pushing this up. You can use your fingernail to hold it up or just, but you want to make sure it stays up and you're working around this side. Now, remember, on the iPhone 12, 13, 14 phones, the phones, see as phones like this, the phone's going to open this way. It's going to open this way. So you got to pay attention to where your cabling is. On this phone, the cameras are here. We're going to flip it over like this. The cables are running along this side. So what we're going to do, keep running your Slim Jim tool around. You're popping it loose. Make sure you don't stick this too far in so you don't get to the cabling, just in a little bit. Pop the screen loose all the way around. When you get to the top, you can apply a little bit of pressure, wiggling it side to side, and also there we go. It's all loose. Now again, iPhone 13, we're going to flip it up. This is one of the newest tools I really enjoyed using. It's made by a company called WeWork or We Repair or W Repair or something like that. Anyhow, flip this up like this. First thing you're always doing when you're getting into a phone is you're looking to find the battery to get it unplugged, because battery shorts will cause you all sorts of headache in these phones. So the battery for the iPhone 13 Pro Max is attached under this plate. So we're removing all these plate screws. This is a tri-point screwdriver here. Carefully removing this. See your battery connection right here. Pop that off. Let's remove the connections for the screen while we're right here. There's only one connection here. Now we need to remove the connection for the, it's a Face ID module. Has 2 tri-point screws and 2 Phillips head screws. I don't know why Apple has insisted on switching over to using tri-point screws like they've been doing for the last 6 years. It's nothing new, but these tri-point screws are, I don't think they're anywhere near as practical as the Phillips head screws. See, 2 of these are tri-point, 2 of these are Phillips head. If you're wondering what the difference is between tri-point and Phillips head, these are what the 2 different the 2 different heads look like. But anyhow, it was iPhone 7 when Apple switched over and started using tri-point screws. But the funny thing is they didn't switch over everything. You would think if they really believed tri-point screw heads were the future, they would have switched them all over. Anyhow, on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, you can reuse the adhesive, so I like to leave it there. And now we need to remove the Face ID module from the screen, which is a pretty straightforward process. We have 3 screws right here. One. Biggest thing you need to be doing when you're doing repairs is make sure you keep things organized. If you can stay organized for just a little bit of time, you can do repairs. Now, the quirky thing they did with the iPhone 13 is they glued using adhesive to stick this whole thing here. And you have to be careful because this is just a piece of ribbon cabling and you don't want to break this. So what I do is I use one of the iFixit super thin guitar picks. I heat it up. And then my daughter is a diabetic, so I have extra syringes laying around. You can buy syringes like this, and I fill it up with Everclear grain alcohol. I get all sorts of jokes about this. No, I don't drink this. We use this to remove adhesive in devices. It's great. You can purchase it at alcohol stores. It's a great solution. Everclear, like 95% proof grain alcohol is perfect. I fill a syringe with it. And it helps dissolve adhesive. I'm going to shoot it underneath this Face ID module right here. And then I'm going to stick my guitar pick under here as well. It's a little bit excessive that I put there, but I'm pretty committed to getting this right and not breaking this on camera. You see how you can easily sneak your guitar pick under here. I'm sneaking it under between the between this bit of, I don't know what you call it, cabling, circuitry or whatever, and the metal. It's very important that I'm using a piece of plastic under here, because if you use metal, obviously you're a lot more likely to cut into this. You could always, I could always still cut into this. There's a million ways you can damage phones. And you really want to be careful with this piece right here, because if you damage this, this is one of those things that's not replaceable on the device. Well, it's not replaceable by third-party repair shops. If you damage this, you pretty much have to send your customer to Apple to have their phone refixed, and you'll be paying for that, or at least I think you should be paying for that. Anyhow, so I got that removed with a little bit of work with a whole bunch of alcohol, adhesive, and some patience. Now, you have 3 different points where this is stuck in place. I find that heat helps with this, and this Slim Jim tool helps with this. Now, be very careful, because each of these connectors are very small, very weak. You could damage them easily. One of the ways to get under there is to get into here is to sneak under here and lightly apply pressure up, very lightly, because you're very sensitive that you could rip these cables at any point. Anyhow, now that I've threatened you, I got these 2 up. So we're hopefully going to get this last piece up. So I'm going to put a little more heat on it because I'm nervous about breaking it. especially about breaking it on camera. And boom, bada bang. Good to go. Alright. So, we've got this, the Face ID module taken off of here. We've got the phone disassembled. Now we're going to prepare to put on the new OLED assembly. With this phone, because the adhesive is in good shape, I'm not going to be replacing it. That's proverbial because this adhesive is not in good shape. These are ridiculously expensive screens. $370. What? Anyhow. So, we're going to kind of just reverse process. Apply a little bit of pressure. And the nice thing about alcohol removal is that it still leaves some of the adhesive there, so you can reuse it. It doesn't have to be super stuck and firmly in place. Grab our phone, align it, set it in. This thing was only about like $20. Amazing deal, I found, because it holds your phone screens right where you need them to be. So you can focus on your screws and all your other things. The place where these tools really shine is with iPads. There's a much bigger one that you can use with iPads. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there. This. Okay, you got all your connections in place. So now is the moment of truth, and we're going to test out and see, borrow this. The moment of truth, we're going to test out and see if this connection really works. The best way I've found to get iPhones like this one to power on, plug them in.
Alright, so it is still waiting to power on. It's still charging up, it's probably pretty dead. I've got a high voltage charger here, so I'm going to plug it into more of a high voltage charger and see if we can get the power on. I usually try not to power a device on to completely close that phone up unless I can get it powered on all the way. And it should power on all the way in just a minute. I'll have to flip this video upside down. Huh. Anyhow, so
a couple things I want to mark on this video, on this phone. This is a 1-year-old phone. It's a very expensive phone still, and yet I was able to complete this repair. This is going to be all done in less than 20 minutes. And yet I can make a profit margin or a labor charge of around $100 for this repair. It's an incredibly profitable repair. It's a straightforward repair. Secondly, this phone, for whatever reason, screen prices are so high, Apple will fix these phones cheaper than I can. It cost me $370 to buy this screen. I'm repairing it for $470. And so this customer could get this work done cheaper at Apple. And sometimes I tell customers that. But they chose to come to me because I offered convenience, a value, relational connection, any of a number of reasons. You can carve out a business doing phones that are complicated, doing phones that are new, doing phones that you're even not the cheapest person to get it done. If you offer value, if you serve people well, you can offer, you can win business like this. And so we'll see. The phone just popped on. It's good to go. We're going to close it up and call it a day. Pressing the adhesive back on. Yes, sometimes I replace the adhesive on these iPhone 13 Pro Maxes. The adhesive stays perfectly in place and is just as good like this. I will add some pressure to make sure the adhesive really secures well, but all in all, I don't expect any issues with them. Two things I'll warn this customer about, like I warn every customer. First of all, the phone is not going to be waterproof. And that's the same with any phone. Even if you do replace the adhesive, the phone is not going to be waterproof again. People cannot think about their phones after they've been replaced as waterproof. They may be water resistant. Even if you put all the adhesive in place, it can be water resistant. But I'm going to put these clamps on there to help the adhesive really take hold. But all in all, this is a done repair. This video took me 20 minutes to shoot. Beginning to end, we have a working, yep, it is working. We have a working iPhone 13 Pro Max, good to go. This is Daniel. If you want to learn more about how to launch your own repair shop, shoot me a message. I'd love to help you out. Have a great day.